It's not by chance that you're viewing this video. There's a reason you're here. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust the timing of your life and know that you're being led to where you're meant to be. As you stumble on this video, perhaps not by chance, it will serve to awaken your spirit. You have been sensing the shift, feeling in your spirit that something far greater is being orchestrated behind the scenes. And what is about to unfold in your life is not ordinary. It is royal territory, divinely appointed and prepared. This is the season in which heaven is strategically repositioning you, moving you from hidden places into elevated positions of authority, influence, and destiny. Every delay you endured, every detour that seemed frustrating, and every disappointment that tested your patience has been part of a divine alignment designed to prepare you for the fullness of your assignment. You are not merely being moved from one location to another. You are being positioned spiritually, strategically, and prophetically for the destiny God has ordained for you. The season of wandering and waiting is over. Now you are being sent forth with purpose, with authority, and fully backed by divine favor. To help you grasp the depth of this revelation, we will break it down into 7 transformative chapters for a deeper understanding of what is occurring in your life. Before we go further, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe, because this message is not just ordinary content, it is a divine confirmation specifically for the chosen ones. A heartfelt thank you goes to everyone who has supported through Super Thanks. May God bless you abundantly. Your faithfulness, your presence, and your commitment to growth are recognized and appreciated in the spiritual realm. To all who continually engage, listen, and align with this message, know that your dedication does not go unnoticed. If your spirit resonates with this frequency, declare it by typing 77 in the comments, for that number is not random. It is a sacred signal to the Most High and to the universe that you are ready to be positioned, ready to be elevated, and ready to step fully into the royal territory that God has already inscribed into your destiny. Not everyone will reach the end of this message, for it is reserved only for those truly chosen for a royal assignment. Those who remain attentive and receptive will receive revelation, divine alignment, and prophetic insight into the spiritual positioning that God is already orchestrating in their lives. This is not merely another motivational message. It is a living decree, a spiritual blueprint designed to activate your next level of destiny when received in faith. Watch and revisit it whenever your spirit calls you, because each time you engage with it, a deeper layer of divine truth will be revealed, equipping and preparing you to walk confidently and boldly into your royal territory. Let us begin. Chapter 1. When the royal territory calls. Chosen one, this message has not reached you by chance. It has found you by divine intention. Lately, you have felt a stirring deep within your soul, a sacred restlessness that keeps whispering to your heart. There is more to you than this. You may have tried to quiet that voice, to remain comfortable, to keep life predictable and safe. Yet heaven refuses to let you settle any longer. That pull you feel is not anxiety, it is activation. Your spirit awakening to its divine purpose. You have been marked for movement, and that movement is leading you into royal territory. Understand this clearly. Royal territory is not defined by crowns, castles, or comfort. It is not about riches or luxury, though those may accompany it. Instead, it is about stepping into divine leadership, spiritual influence, and heavenly assignment. It means walking with the awareness that your every decision carries weight in unseen realms. It is becoming a vessel through which heaven flows into the earth. Royal territory is the realm where God entrusts you not merely with blessings, but with responsibility. Before God ushers you into this new dimension, He must first transform the way you think. No one enters royal territory with the mentality of a servant. You cannot think like a victim and walk like a victor. You cannot cling to fear and carry divine authority. The instability you've felt is not abandonment, it is alignment. God is rearranging everything in your life that no longer reflects your royal identity. The shaking is holy. The separation is sacred. You are being stripped of what is old so that you may be robbed in what is new. When you look around and see confusion, remember this: The chaos is construction. Heaven is building something new through your obedience. Every delay has been a divine classroom. Every betrayal, a spiritual cleansing. Every season of silence, a sharpening of discernment and deepening of dependence on God. Nothing you have endured has been random. Every experience was preparation for royal placement. Consider David, a shepherd boy, hidden in the fields, unseen and underestimated. Yet heaven saw him differently. When others saw a boy, God saw a king. When the world forgot him, heaven called him by name. That is what is happening to you now. God has been observing your faithfulness in secret, your humility when unnoticed, your obedience when overlooked. And just like David, your moment of divine recognition is near. Heaven is whispering into your spirit. You cannot stay where you are. You have outgrown that level. The very places that once nurtured you can no longer contain you. The field taught you humility, but the throne will require courage. The pit strengthened your endurance, but the palace will demand wisdom. You are not who you were when the process began. Your spirit has matured. Your discernment has sharpened. Your roots have deepened. Now heaven is calling you forward into royal territory. Royal posture for royal territory. Chosen one, understand this truth. Royal territory demands a royal posture. Walk with your head lifted high in confidence, yet keep your heart grounded in humility. Let your words carry authority, but let your spirit remain anchored in peace. Move with intention and clarity of purpose, but never lose sight of your divine source. Heaven is preparing to elevate you, not to draw attention to yourself, but to fulfill your sacred assignment. The season ahead is not about recognition, it is about representation. You are being positioned to reveal God's glory through your grace, wisdom, and obedience. You are about to step into places where human effort cannot sustain you. What will carry you forward is divine grace, not striving. You will not need to force doors open or compete for entry. The very gates that once seemed closed will open of their own accord, for your arrival has been divinely appointed and your presence heavenly authorized. You were never meant to chase opportunity. Opportunity has been instructed to find you. So stand firm, walk faithfully, and remember, true royalty is not proven by how loudly it speaks, but by how deeply it serves. Chapter 2, Preparation before Position. Chosen one. Before God can position you, He must first prepare you. Every true elevation in the kingdom is built upon a foundation that has been refined through the fire of testing. You cannot be trusted with the throne until you have endured the wilderness. That is why your journey has felt so intense, because heaven is not constructing something temporary within you, but something eternal. Royal positions demand royal preparation. God does not promote based on appearance, talent, or potential. He promotes based on character. Before He places a crown upon your head, He purifies your heart. Before He lifts you up, He empties you out. Before He fulfills the promise, He shapes the person. You may have been praying for position, but all along, God has been preparing your posture. He has been training your spirit to carry what your heart once only dreamed of. This is why your recent season may have felt like a divine contradiction. Doors that seemed perfect were suddenly closed. People who once promised loyalty quietly disappeared. Opportunities that appeared right unexpectedly fell apart. You wondered if you were being punished, but you weren't. You were being purified. Heaven was removing everything and everyone that could contaminate your calling. You cannot carry the fragrance of divine favor while clinging to the residue of old pain. The people you lost were not a sign of rejection. They were a form of protection. God heard conversations you did not hear, saw motives you could not see, and discerned intentions that did not align with your destiny. The silence you endured was never God ignoring you. It was God insulating you. He was shielding you from distractions and fine-tuning your ears to recognize His voice more clearly. Every delay was a divine disguise, not for denial, but for development. Every battle was a hidden classroom for spiritual instruction. In your unseen seasons, God was teaching you lessons that the spotlight could never reveal. You learned obedience when the door refused to open, faith when the vision refused to manifest, surrender when your plan is no longer aligned with His purpose, discernment when betrayal broke your heart, patience when every promise seemed postponed. Each moment of pain was preparing you for the weight of glory that is to come. You have not been forgotten. You have been forged. You have not been delayed. You have been developed. Heaven's preparation is not punishment. It is proof that you are being made ready for divine position. Throughout every challenge and hidden moment of your journey, your spirit was being refined in the sacred fire of divine preparation. The eyes of the world may have failed to notice your growth, but heaven was attentively observing, recording, and remembering every detail. Every tear you shed was not forgotten, but preserved as a testament to your endurance. Every sacrifice you made, even when unseen or unacknowledged by others, was noted and valued in eternity. Every quiet act of integrity, especially when no one else was watching, became living evidence of your readiness for what is to come. The throne you are about to step into is not awarded to those who make the most noise or seek the most attention, but to those whose hearts have proven loyal, steadfast, and true. You have demonstrated faithfulness in the silence, perseverance in the storm, and surrender in the struggle. Remember this eternal principle. God does not place crowns upon the heads of the unprepared or the untested. He shapes His chosen through conflict, develops them through seasons of delay, and sharpens them through solitude. Every battle, every waiting period, and every lonely night has been part of His divine curriculum designed to form in you the strength, character, and wisdom necessary for leadership. Before Joseph ever wore the royal robes of Egypt, he endured the weight of prison chains and the pain of betrayal. Before David ever held the scepter of authority, he learned courage, trust, and humility while holding a simple shepherd's sling. Before Esther ever wore her royal crown, she experienced a hidden season of preparation that shaped her into a vessel of divine purpose. In the same way, your hidden season has not been a time of inactivity, but one of divine investment. It has been your spiritual boot camp, where heaven has been building emotional endurance, strengthening the foundation of your faith, and cultivating genuine humility within your heart. Because entering royal territory is not merely a matter of favor, it also comes with responsibility, opposition, and warfare. You are not being elevated for ease or personal comfort. You are being promoted for divine impact. You are being commissioned to step into environments that require your anointing, your authority, and your spiritual discernment. You have been chosen, refined, and prepared, not for recognition, but for purpose. And as you rise, know this: heaven has already declared you ready. Chapter 3. The rise from servant to steward, a royal shift. Beloved chosen one, in the realm of the Spirit, a divine graduation is taking place. You are being called forth into a higher dimension of purpose and responsibility. The season of serving, learning, quiet obedience, of faithful endurance, is now giving way to a new season of stewardship and authority. You have walked through the refining fires of humility. You have proven your faith when no one was there to applaud. Each unseen act of service, every private surrender, and every moment when you chose obedience over recognition has been a seed planted in the soil of heaven. And now those seeds are breaking through the ground, bearing fruit in due season. Heaven has witnessed your faithfulness in what seems small, and now you are being entrusted with what is great. This next chapter of your life is not centered merely on receiving blessings. It is about stepping into rulership. You are not just being blessed, you are being positioned. You are not simply being favored, you are being entrusted. God is transitioning you from serving dreams to stewarding kingdoms. What once appeared to be ordinary or insignificant tasks were actually divine training grounds designed to prepare you for governance in higher realms. Every assignment, every supervisor, every mentor, even those difficult and uncomfortable environments, were shaping your capacity for leadership. Through them, you were developing spiritual discipline, emotional maturity, and administrative excellence necessary for kingdom stewardship. Just as Joseph learned to manage Potiphar's household before overseeing all of Egypt, you too were being trained in the management of another's vision before being entrusted with your own. You were learning divine principles through human processes. You discovered how to be faithful over another person's responsibility, even when it cost you recognition or comfort. This is the essence of true stewardship. God evaluates how you manage what belongs to someone else before He entrusts you with what belongs to you. The way you handled small responsibilities became the resume for your greater calling. Heaven does not promote based on emotion or sympathy. Promotion in the Spirit comes through evidence. The proof of faithfulness, the fruit of integrity, the consistency of character under pressure. You have been tested in the areas that matter most: loyalty, humility, endurance, and truth. You have learned to endure injustice without resentment, to forgive betrayal without seeking revenge, and to remain steadfast even when falsely accused. Through these tests, your character has been refined like gold. You have emerged not bitter, but better, not broken, but built. That is why the shift is now being activated in your life. Heaven has found you faithful in obscurity, and now you are being revealed in authority. This transition from servant to steward is not merely a change in title. It is a profound spiritual transformation. It signifies that your relationship to responsibility, purpose, and leadership is evolving. Servants follow instructions, but stewards carry divine ownership. Servants preserve what is given, but stewards multiply what is entrusted. Servants operate under command, but stewards operate under revelation. You have moved from simply doing work to understanding why you work, from taking orders to carrying purpose, from maintenance to multiplication. This is the hallmark of divine promotion, when obedience matures into revelation and service becomes stewardship. Your hands, once used to carry another's vision, are now being anointed to carry your own. Heaven is declaring over you, "You have been faithful in little, now be ruler over much." God is now entrusting you with more than simple obedience. He is calling you to rise into divine partnership, to create systems, to lead with wisdom, and to cultivate environments where His presence can dwell freely. You have graduated from merely following directions to operating in revelation and responsibility. Heaven no longer needs to monitor every step of your obedience because your heart has matured. You have proven that your obedience is not conditional upon comfort or applause. Now you walk not as one who needs supervision, but as one who carries understanding. You have learned the rhythm of divine timing, and your maturity has made you trustworthy in greater measures of authority. Understand this: you are not being thrown into something unfamiliar or unprepared. You are being positioned into what was already predestined for you. Every delay you faced was not a denial. It was divine timing working on your behalf. Every disappointment was a lesson in disguise. Every season of silence was a chapter in the blueprint God was crafting for your destiny. You are not stepping into uncertainty, you are stepping into fulfillment. What once felt like a mystery is now revelation. You are walking not into the unknown, but into prophecy realized. You are entering the very space your prayers, your tears, and your steadfast faith have been constructing over the years. This is not coincidence. This is the culmination. Beloved chosen one, this is also why the warfare intensified before your elevation. The increase in opposition was not an indication of failure, but confirmation of imminent promotion. The enemy was not fighting your past, he was terrified of your future. He recognized the magnitude of what was about to be birthed through your life. He knew that once you crossed this spiritual threshold, your influence would begin to transform atmospheres. Your voice would no longer echo merely in rooms, it would resound in realms. Your obedience would not just inspire others, it would birth movements. You have transitioned from servant to steward. You are no longer one who simply executes orders, you are one who governs divine purpose. You are now a carrier of heaven's blueprints, a vessel of kingdom strategies, and a leader appointed to construct what others only envisioned in prayer. The weight of responsibility upon you is not a burden. It is evidence of trust. Heaven has seen your process, and now it is granting you authority. You have moved from being managed by God's instruction to managing His intention. This is not the end of your service. It is the elevation of it. You serve now not just with hands, but with vision. You are stepping into a role of divine administration where your leadership becomes an act of worship and your stewardship becomes a dwelling place for His glory. Chapter 4. Relocation through divine purpose. Chosen one. When God begins to elevate you, He simultaneously begins to reposition you, not only spiritually, but emotionally, mentally, and even geographically. Divine relocation is never random or coincidental. Every move of God is a precise and prophetic act. He does not simply send you somewhere new for the sake of change. He sends you where your purpose, influence, and calling will be most needed. Every shift in your location corresponds to a shift in responsibility, authority, and opportunity. As this process unfolds, you may begin to notice subtle changes in your environment. People who once resonated with you deeply may gradually drift away. Opportunities that previously flowed effortlessly might begin to slow or disappear altogether. These shifts can feel confusing, disheartening, or even painful. But understand this, it is not rejection, it is divine redirection. Heaven is intentionally rearranging the circumstances and connections around you to align you with your next assignment. Consider the story of Elijah. The brook that had sustained him eventually dried up, not to abandon him, but to lead him to Zarephath, a place God had prepared as a conduit for his next level of provision and purpose. In the same way, your current situation is not being taken away from you arbitrarily. You are not being pushed out, you are being sent forth. Every divine relocation is strategic. It is not an indication of failure or inadequacy where you were. Rather, it is confirmation that your mission there has been completed and that your next chapter awaits. Divine movement occurs at the precise intersection of timing and obedience. When the Spirit begins to stir your environment, creating discomfort, restlessness, or a sense of urgency, take it as a signal from heaven that a new season is approaching. You may not yet understand the full why or where of the move, but you will feel the gentle, persistent pull of God. That inner stirring, that subtle unease, is God's way of saying, it is time for your next level. At first, divine relocation may feel uncomfortable, even unsettling. It requires detachment from the familiar so that you can be connected to the extraordinary. Every move God orchestrates begins with disconnection. Some relationships will naturally fade because they cannot survive at your new frequency. Some careers or positions may come to an end because they cannot contain the magnitude of your next anointing. Do not grieve what is fading. Instead, rejoice over what is forming. God is not taking from you. He is creating space for what is coming. You are being strategically positioned for revelation and release. Hear this clearly. You are not being displaced. You are being divinely replaced. God is relocating you into environments where your voice, your gifts, and your influence are not only welcomed, but required. The people, communities, and opportunities you are about to encounter have been praying for exactly what you carry. When God nudges you forward, respond with faith, not fear. Every obedient step opens portals of favor, increases your influence, and accelerates your destiny. Divine positioning demands movement, but it equally demands trust. Trust that every closed door was protected, every redirection was preparation, and every delay was divine calibration. Look at Ruth as an example. Her relocation from Moab to Bethlehem was far more than a change of geography. It was a change of destiny. Her obedience in moving to an unfamiliar land led her directly into divine alignment with Boaz, and ultimately into the lineage of Jesus. This illustrates the principle of God's timing and strategy. He conceals monumental purpose within seemingly ordinary or minor moves. What may feel small, uncomfortable, or inconvenient today is often the very context in which your greatest destiny is being orchestrated. Divine relocation is not merely about moving from one place to another. It is about stepping into the season, environment, and assignment that God has prepared to expand your influence, reveal your purpose, and release your destiny. Trust the process. Walk in obedience. The spaces you are being positioned into are already designed to recognize and multiply the gifts, anointing, and strategies that God has deposited within you. Chosen one, rest assured, heaven's guidance is leading you with precision. You are not wandering aimlessly, you are being intentionally directed. Every transition, every shift, every moment of change is strategically moving you closer to the territory God has prepared for you. When you finally arrive at that place of divine alignment, everything will begin to make sense. The losses you experienced, the lessons you endured, and even the seasons of loneliness you faced, all of it will converge into a singular, undeniable truth. God did not remove you to punish or diminish you. Every relocation, every detour, every seeming disruption was orchestrated by Him to position you perfectly for the destiny He has designed. You are not off course, you are on assignment. The distances traveled and the doors closed were not setbacks. They were steps guiding you toward your appointed place, where purpose and provision will meet, and where your next level of destiny will unfold. Chapter 5, Royal Character Revealed. Chosen one, before God places the crown upon your head, He first establishes the heart beneath it. True royal authority is never merely about position or visibility. It is fundamentally about posture, integrity, and inner alignment. God's purpose is not to elevate you simply to be seen by the world. He is raising you to represent Him. You are not being promoted to showcase your own greatness or to prove your capabilities. You are being positioned to reflect the glory of God. While the world may notice your crown, heaven is carefully observing your character. Authentic royalty does not seek validation from people. It carries conviction, confidence rooted in truth, and a steadfast adherence to principle. A real king or queen understands that power without purity is dangerous. It corrupts instead of edifies. This is why God is carefully refining your heart before revealing your crown. Pride, insecurity, and the compulsion to prove yourself are being stripped away so that your leadership will flow from essence, not ego. You must know your identity and your worth even when no one is applauding you. The crown itself does not make you royal. Your character does. Humility is the robe of honor for every true leader. You have walked through seasons of misunderstanding, seasons where you were overlooked, underappreciated, or even disregarded. But these seasons were not wasted. They were divine classrooms designed to prepare you for higher authority. From them, you have learned to remain kind even in the midst of chaos, stay calm when conflict surrounds you, lead with love instead of responding in fear. Heaven allowed these wilderness seasons so that you could be trusted in the palace. Let your silence speak when provoked. Let your grace disarm situations that words alone could never resolve. True royalty understands the difference between when to act and when to remain still. Every choice to prioritize peace over pride polishes your crown. Every act of humble service elevates you spiritually more than any public accolade ever could. Consider the example of the King of Kings, Jesus Himself. Before He sat upon the throne, He washed the feet of His disciples. He demonstrated that authentic leadership is servanthood infused with divine authority. His life teaches us that to lead with true power, one must first embody humility, patience, and love. Chosen one, your crown is coming. But more important than the crown is the character that will sustain it. Your elevation is not about being noticed. It is about being trustworthy, godly, and ready to carry responsibility with integrity. Heaven sees beyond appearances. It measures the heart, and your heart is being perfected for the throne. Chosen one, as God elevates you, remain humble in spirit. The higher you ascend, the more humility must guard your heart. Recognition and influence will naturally follow as people begin to notice your gifts, your wisdom, and the light that shines through you. Yet never forget the dark nights that shaped you, the trials, the solitude, and the seasons of waiting. The wilderness was the anvil upon which heaven forged your character. Stay anchored in gratitude, for it is humility that steadies the soul in times of acclaim. When praise comes, redirect the glory upward. When applause rises around you, bow your heart lower. This is the mark of true royalty, to reign with power while serving with humility. God is testing not only what you can bear, but also how you bear it. He is observing whether you can hold power without allowing pride to take root, walk in authority without succumbing to arrogance, carry divine favor without neglecting divine order. This is the true test of the crown. The crown is not a trophy to display, it is a weighty responsibility. It is designed not for personal glory, but for the advancement of God's purposes, to build, to bless, and to establish heaven's order on the earth. Chosen one, do not despise corrections this season. Every rebuke from heaven is a reminder of your royal calling. Every lesson in humility sharpens your spiritual authority. God disciplines those he intends to entrust with kingdoms. Allow him to continue shaping your heart. The higher your influence, the softer and more tender your spirit must remain. You are not being refined because of weakness, but because you are chosen. And when others begin to witness your rise, some may misinterpret your confidence as pride. Do not respond with defensiveness. Heaven has already approved you, and the fruit of your spirit, patience, love, gentleness, and integrity, will always speak louder than human assumptions or criticism. Chapter 6. The moment heaven has decreed your name. Chosen one, there comes a sacred and decisive moment in every destiny when heaven itself speaks your name. This is the moment when all the years of being overlooked, misunderstood, and underestimated suddenly begin to make sense. You have spent long seasons hidden, quietly refining your gifts while others seem to rush ahead in the noise and chaos of the world. Yet in those unseen moments, God was watching. He saw your faithful obedience, your perseverance, and the consistency of your heart. He noticed how you continued to show up even when no one was applauding, and how you continued to believe even when the results were invisible. Now heaven is declaring it is your time. You will no longer need to chase recognition. Recognition will now come to you. When God announces your name, doors you never dreamed of knocking on will open, and people you have never met will be moved to assist, guide, and elevate you. This is not the result of human networking or worldly strategy. This is divine alignment. Just as Pharaoh suddenly remembered Joseph overnight, your name is about to be spoken in rooms your feet have never entered. One word from God will shift your entire life. What may have taken others years to achieve will come to pass for you in moments, because it is not by your effort, it is by His favor. Understand this. This divine announcement is never about ego, fame, or personal validation. God does not elevate you so that others will worship you. He elevates you so that His power, glory, and purposes can flow through your life. The recognition coming your way is not a reward for past toil. It is a responsibility for future impact. The same voice that called you out of the wilderness is now calling you into visibility. But this time, you will enter with the wisdom, maturity, and discernment that only the trials of the wilderness could produce. You will know how to handle honor without losing humility, because your seasons of solitude, pain, and refinement have prepared you for the spotlight. When heaven announces your name, it is not just a moment of celebration, it is a divine activation. You are being positioned to step into favor, influence, and authority that aligns perfectly with God's plan for your life. Your obedience, patience, and perseverance have not been in vain. The hidden season was a preparation, and now the public revelation of your purpose is at hand. Chosen one, heaven's announcement over your life is more than recognition. It is divine confirmation that every season of preparation was purposeful and intentional. Every hidden moment, every night of solitude, every prayer that seemed unanswered was part of heaven's meticulous setup. You were never forgotten, overlooked, or abandoned. You were being refined. God was ensuring that when He called your name publicly, you would possess the inner strength, wisdom, and resilience required to bear the weight of your calling privately. This was never delayed, it was development, the crafting of a vessel capable of sustaining divine destiny. When the announcement finally comes, you will witness the orchestration of heaven in motion. Connections will form without strain, resources will flow without struggle, and destiny helpers will appear from the most unexpected places. This is the power of heaven's endorsement. Creation itself begins to align with your assignment. Every aspect of your life, relationships, opportunities, and circumstances will begin to harmonize with divine order. Those who once doubted or questioned your calling will now witness the undeniable confirmation of God's plan. Yet this announcement is not solely about your elevation. It is also an activation of others. Your journey, your testimony, and even your scars will become instruments of hope and healing. Your story will remind the overlooked, the underestimated, and the hidden that being unseen does not mean being forgotten. It means being chosen. You are living proof that God promotes in private before he reveals in public. Prepare your heart, chosen one, for this recognition will not be subtle. You are not merely being promoted, you are being positioned. The anointing within you carries a voice, and heaven is about to amplify it. Nations will feel the impact of your influence. Doors that were once closed will swing open effortlessly. The same voice that called you out of storms and wilderness seasons will now call you into the spotlight, not for your personal glory, but so that his glory may be displayed through you. Your hidden obedience, your perseverance, and your faithfulness are culminating in a season where heaven's endorsement will launch you into your appointed place. Step forward with confidence, humility, and readiness. The waiting was necessary, the refinement intentional, and the timing perfect. Heaven is declaring that your story is about to move from hidden preparation to public purpose. Chapter 7. Walk in your royal authority. Chosen one, the season of hesitation is over. The days of doubting your worth, questioning your calling, and shrinking yourself to make others comfortable have now ended. Heaven has spoken your name and sealed your purpose. It is time to rise and step confidently into the royal authority that belongs to you. You are no longer the person you once were. The trials that once seemed unbearable have now shaped and strengthened you. The tears that fell in solitude were not wasted. They nourished the soil of your destiny. You are no longer the wounded one. You are the crowned one. Heaven did not bring you this far for you to retreat. Every moment of rejection, every season of struggle, and every trial endured has prepared you for this moment of public authority. You have been refined through adversity, strengthened through warfare, and restored through grace. The authority you carry today is not borrowed or temporary. It is inherited, a continuation of a divine lineage established before time itself. Like Joseph, your pit was your preparation, your prison, your purification, and now your palace is your platform. You were tested privately so that you could rule publicly with integrity and purity. When God calls someone royal, he is not searching for crowns made of gold or symbols of worldly prestige. He seeks hearts shaped by obedience, faithfulness, and humility. True kingdom royalty is measured by service, not status. You are not being positioned to be served. You are being elevated to serve with wisdom, love, and divine insight. This is the distinction between earthly rulers and heavenly ones. You carry authority to cultivate, not to control. Wherever you go, peace follows. When you speak, heaven listens. When you act, the atmosphere shifts. This is not arrogance. It is anointing. Your influence is a manifestation of divine purpose, flowing through your obedience, character, and faithfulness. You are equipped to lead, to restore, and to shape destinies, not through force, but through the authority God has entrusted to you. Step boldly, chosen one. Walk in the fullness of your authority. Move with confidence, guided by wisdom, and anchored in humility. The royal path is yours, not to impress, but to impact, not to dominate, but to demonstrate the heart of heaven on earth. Chosen one, the crown now rests upon you because your character has aligned perfectly with your calling. Heaven has been patiently waiting for the day when your spirit would mature enough to carry the weight of influence responsibly. You had to learn humility before receiving honor, and you had to embrace silence before speaking with authority. Now that your heart, mind, and spirit have been refined, God trusts you to step into your rightful place of impact. You are being released into royal territory, not merely physical places of power or prestige, but spiritual realms that have been patiently awaiting the manifestation of your light and authority. These are spaces where your discernment will guide outcomes, your words will bring clarity, and your presence will shift environments in alignment with God's purposes. Walk boldly, chosen one, yet walk with wisdom. True authority is not loud or demanding. It is a quiet confidence that knows its identity and purpose without the need for validation. It is the ability to lead with grace, influence with integrity, and impact without ego. Your calling is not about proving yourself to the world. It is about fulfilling heaven's mandate with poise, discernment, and divine alignment. Thanks for watching. Here ends this prophetic message. If you're eager for more, whether additional chapters to the spiritual journey or a powerful visual concept for a video or thumbnail, simply just say the word. I'm here and am ready to help bring it all to life.